Hey guys.
Hello, everyone. We are here doing our working live, and I am here with OBX picker Eric.
Hey guys. Good to see you again. Like if you're here,
Right?
this is my third day in a row doing some live listings. Yesterday I jumped on with Markets for a little bit. Sumu Thrift, but
I don't know that one. So you got a channel
Markets
as
used to
well?
be Big Texas.
Yeah.
It used to be Big Texas, but it's Sumo Thrift.
Huh. So you got a
Markets
channel as
used
well?
to be Big Texas. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. They actually do a live show on Friday nights behind us at 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
I just had to pause the volume from YouTube because it wouldn't let me do it until it was live.
it always gets you like that for sure.
Uh-huh. This time I was ready for it, though. I was like waiting for it to finally let me.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot out some Instagram real quick. See.
Yeah, I put out another message and put the YouTube link for the channel, inside the comments because it wouldn't let me edit the one I actually did, but it would let me comment on the one I did.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they like Instagram is so territorial. Like they won't let you like put like hyperlinks for YouTube.
But then
You
when I
use
looked
that
at,
link tree though, right?
what was it?
I said you have the link tree that you use though. I saw that on your.
I actually just put that on there maybe a couple weeks ago because I was meaning to do it, but I hadn't. And I finally got the links on there, and then I had a friend of mine go and check all my links to make sure they worked. So I definitely have that now in my bio, which I think is helpful to have everything in one spot.
Well, it's nice to be able to actually click on it and not have to enter in all the information.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
That's one of those things. So what are you listing today? Hodgepodge?
Yeah, I've got some fully breathable stretch briefs.
Hey.
Tina, Tena stretch.
Gotcha.
Picked up for $1 at the thrift store.
Yeah, Rev and Colton and them say you got some drawers.
You got some drawers? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of them things.
And then I got another one that is the same thing, but a different size. So this one's a 3XL, and the other one is an M and R.
Wow.
So medium regular, I guess.
Yeah.
So. And then I got a bunch of crafting stuff that I got from the thrift store not long ago. And I've got these all pre-listed because my husband's actually been helping. He does the pre-listings, and then I go in and check comps and fix the weight. And
so is he doing the pictures?
What was that?
Is he doing the pictures or are you doing the pictures?
I'm doing the pictures. He's doing the pre-listings. He puts it in the draft for me.
Okay.
And then I turn around and go in and check comps and write stuff like that.
So he's just initially finding it for you then.
Exactly. He's finding it. And there is times that he'll put something in that was brand new, even though it's used, or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a niece and nephew that help me sometimes. I usually just get them a tote of like easy listers, and they'll take pictures and put the listing up, and then just put it and save it as a draft like that. And I'll go in and double check it. But
we do our stuff separately, so I know that he wouldn't do it the way I wanted him to, and he would, and vice versa. So I found that this works for me where he can help me, and it's definitely a big help. But I don't have to micromanage, how he's doing it, because when I take over the listing, I'm automatically going to search comp. So I'm going to make sure it says, new versus used.
Right.
And he gets better each time that he does it because he's learning more and more about checking solds and stuff like that.
Well, it takes a little time, like to teach somebody.
Definitely.
How to do all that stuff.
Well, first he was thinking he was just going to do his own eBay store, and then he realized that was not such a great idea.
Yeah.
So then he's like, well, what can I do to help you? I said, the only way you're going to be able to help me is if you do it the way I told you to do it. You can't just go put something on eBay and say it's worth $20 and it's really only worth $5.
Right. You can if you want to get in trouble.
Or not ever sell it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I've been listing lawnmower parts for 3 days straight.
Oh, those are great. I used to sell lawnmowers at Sears.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Yeah,
I went to an estate sale and bought 17 boxes. So
wow, that's awesome.
A lot of them. Some of them I'm having a little bit of difficulty with, but for the most part, they're pretty decent.
That's good.
Yeah.
Have you used the Check a Flip?
Do what?
Have you used the Check a Flip?
Nah. What is that? Check a Flip?
Yeah, you can actually search for used and sold listings and current listings and everything.
Oh, I got you. Hey.
Yeah, it's called Check a Flip. Buy low, sell high, and then you put in whether it's used or whatever, and then put in the information and hit current. And it'll show you completed listings, and it'll show you the current listings and the average sale prices.
Oh, that's cool. So just another thing.
So that's always a bonus. Joey's in the house.
Yeah, this other guy, Island Homesteader, is my buddy Ken. He's been on the show.
Hello, Island Homesteader.
He has a YouTube channel about homesteading and beekeeping and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of the
cool
stuff he does.
Awesome.
But I got him into reselling a little bit, so he goes to some sales along with me.
Awesome. That's good. I'm gonna put this Check a Flip link in here. So if anybody
That's a good resource.
Wants to use it, I find it helpful.
Yeah, I just now, because I needed it for something else, like a more valuable item. I'm doing the trial Worth Point subscription. Tell
me how it goes, because I go to there once in a while to look at something, but it always tells me I don't have a subscription, so then I leave.
Yeah. Well, what I've talked to some other people about is splitting a subscription. So if I see it's something worthwhile, I'm probably going to put it out there on Instagram or something and be like, hey, if anybody wants to be a part of this, like, because it is kind of pricey. I think it's like $40 a month if you get the full package.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like a really good source, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has flaws like everything else, but it's pretty good. Like it does. I've used it for antique stuff, and it seems to have a lot more of that kind of thing there. But
gotcha.
Like I said, I'm gonna try it this first month and see how it goes. There is some stuff where you can. I did notice, like if you go ahead and pay, you can actually import from there to your listing. So like it'll import the information into your listing. So because it puts a lot of extra information there, that you typically maybe would not be something that you would include if you had to type it all in, So,
right. That's definitely helpful though if it, like you said, it imports the stuff into your listings.
Yeah, Ken will be all about that. He works EMT, so he's working today.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, Joey's probably working too. He sometimes comes into my lives when I'm doing the working lives. If he's not a guest, because he was a guest on my show.
He's definitely working this time of day. I imagine.
Oh, he's in your area?
Island Homesteader, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, I mean Joey Bada Bing?
No, Joey's in Florida.
Yeah, Joey's in Florida with me.
Yeah, but like I said, East Coast time, it's only 2:00, so I'm sure he's working as a poster stuff. He might be off. I don't know how quick you get the mail out. I know our local post office don't close till 5:30, so most of the time those guys are in there to at least 3 or 4.
Gotcha.
Now, where are you at in Florida?
I am, I guess, North Florida, like right in the middle next to the Gulf. Like
I grew up in Santa Rosa Beach, like Destin area. That's where I grew up at.
okay, that's on
Between
the other
Panama
coast,
City,
right?
yeah, Panama City area. You know
Oh,
that's
okay, so up in the top of the Panhandle.
yeah,
Okay.
in the
I'm
barrel. I always tell people Florida's a gun. Are you in the barrel or the handle?
I'm in the I'm in the handle where it curves at.
trigger area.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in the trigger area. That's a good way.
Yeah, I used to joke people about that all the time. Yeah, yeah, Florida's pretty big. It's always funny. Like people are like, oh, usually if you tell people you're from Florida, are you close to Disney? It's like not everything in Florida is close to Disney.
Exactly. Yeah, I hear you.
I can almost drive to Disney from where I live in North Carolina as quick as you could from Pensacola. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm where the manatees are, and not far from where the mermaids are.
Oh, cool. I know where you're talking about. Crystal Lake area, like
Crystal River, Homosassa.
Yeah. We used to go to Cypress Springs when I was younger. When they had the water ski shows, like Lakeland area, Winter Haven.
Well, that was definitely a good flip. I picked up this Dual Clean Advantage portable golf ball washer and club head cleaner for less than $3 and sold it for, I think it sold for $59.99 plus shipping.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I just got a feedback from the guy saying it was awesome.
That's cool.
So
it's always good to get that positive feedback after you sell a nice flip.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he put awesome item, good shipping, the way eBay is done, A+ all the way across the board.
Nice.
Actually, it says best offer was taken, so I can't remember. What did he pay me for that? It wasn't $59, but it was still really good. I think it was like $44.10 or something, maybe, plus shipping.
Wow.
Sounds about right. But still, on less than a $3 item, that's still really good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yep, that's what it was. $44.10 plus shipping. So the buyer was in at $57.34 all in.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So custom SKU says I might have had $1 in it, but I know I bulk purchased it with a bunch of stuff. So it could have been less than that. I don't know.
So do you put it in your SKUs, like what you pay kind of thing?
I try to, but a lot of times I bulk things. So, I know if I have 20 items and I paid less than $20, then I've got less than $1 in it. But I might automatically say it was $1, even though it might have been a quarter. It could have been 50 cents.
Right. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bulk buy for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm always looking at that stuff.
And then my thrift stores my thrift store that I like going to on Saturday, they do a spinning of the wheel, and you have a chance to get 50% off. So the prices are already really good, and then a chance to get 50% off on top of that.
So do you spin the wheel as an individual, or they just spin it for the day and like pick whatever's on there?
You spend it as an individual, but sometimes if I go in towards the end of the day, the guy he'll just say it was at 50 and he'll give me 50% off because he knows I come in there a lot.
Huh. That's pretty unique.
Yeah. And then it's like books are buy one, get two free.
Wow.
VHS, I think, is buy one, get two free. So, I mean, there's a lot of good prices already. And then on top of that, you get the discount.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You can do that.
Yeah.
I imagine too that's probably a draw for them to get people to come in the store because they're like, oh man, I could save like 50%. That's pretty unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my favorite flip store. it's my favorite thrift store. I go and take them all my stuff I don't want to deal with, even if it has value and I just don't want to deal with it. I take it to them.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I don't like dealing with the glassware, especially sets and stuff like that. So I take it to them and I'll be like, "This is full sets of Corel." I know they're worth something because I've looked them up. You can sell like one cup for $13, but
yeah, I try not to mess with glass too much. But man, after watching like Kat and Tim and some of those guys, like now at least I do take a second look at it before I just get rid of it.
Yeah, I've watched Kat and a couple people too. I watched this one lady show how you package up stuff, and she was packaging up these glass birds with like wings and a beak and like all these intricate little things, and I'm like, oh my god. She used a lot of bubble wrap, but she made it look like it was doable.
Yeah, Tim was showing me the other day. Do you know Tim over the years?
Vaguely. I haven't like been on his channel or anything like that, but I've seen him in the community.
Yeah, he is. He's a glass guy. Like now he does everything, but he that was kind of his start. He's like one of those people. So his mom does this thing. It's like him and her have a video about packing glass, and it's really good. It really kind of gives you a leg up about okay, if you do this. But basically the bottom line, he's layering bubble wrap, but now what he's done is he's bought some industrial bubble wrap. It's like thicker mill, and the bubbles don't
bubble wrap. Wow.
Yeah, it don't really pop. Like it's thicker, like so like some bubble wrap you like touch it and the bubble pops.
Right.
But this is like heavier mill. He was talking about it when I did my listing show. He came by for a while, and he was packing up a vase, and he said like the vase is like 10 or 12 pounds, like so it's not just a light thing. But he sells on like 8 different platforms, so it's kind of crazy what all he's got going on.
I sell mainly on eBay. I sell on Mercari. I sell on a little bit on Poshmark, and then a little bit on Marketplace.
Yeah, I've got like maybe 6, 7 listings on Mercari. I've sold like maybe 3 or 4 things. I've started like trickling a little bit of stuff in Amazon just to try to open it up a little bit, just in case I decide to pivot a little bit that direction.
Yeah.
But Amazon's a bear. It takes a little time to get stuff where you want it to be.
Right. Yeah, I've done pretty good on Mercari. I can't complain.
Yeah. What do you think now? I mean, Mercari's raising their fees to match eBay. Is what I think
it'll still have value, because the big thing is that there's not as much competition.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can get pretty good prices that you might not have gotten over at eBay.
Honestly, what I've done with my sales on Mercari is I end up buying stuff off Mercari with what I like, because I haven't had much sales, so like I end up just flipping it right back around. Like I've actually bought some shipping supplies that I needed because of that. I'm just like, oh, it's like $50-$60. I'll just flip it into something else I can use.
Right. I've bought stuff off of Mercari, and then I also send money over to my account from Mercari.
Yeah. Because that's what I was like, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, some of it is just having it in one place makes it a little easier to deal with.
Right.
Like now, do you cross post or you just put certain items on certain places?
I use List Perfectly from eBay to Macari,
I got you.
and sometimes to Poshmark, but mostly eBay to Macari.
Have you ever sold the same item on two different places?
I have not.
Yeah. That's what Tim was telling me about. Like that, he's never really had it happen. He said, obviously, if it did, he'd have to cancel Macari and not take the hit on eBay.
Right.
He's like, because I was telling him, I said, there's nothing better than waking up in the morning and seeing something sold overnight. And he's like, yeah. For me, it's that sheer panic when I see something sold because I'm like, did it sell in both places? Like.
Yeah, usually the likelihood of it selling in both places are very slim from the people I've talked to. I mean, they've been doing it for a while for, different platforms, and they said it's very slim that you'll get something that sells on both platforms at the same time.
I think it'd be kind of hard for that to happen. But.
Generally, what I'll do is if I check Macari and I know it's going to sell for more money than it will on eBay, I'll make sure the price is higher on eBay than everybody else.
Yeah.
Then I'll cross post it from eBay to Macari, set my price, and then when it sells, I take it off eBay.
I got you. How many listings do you get on your List Perfectly?
On List Perfectly or on?
Yeah. I mean, I know they have different levels. Like you can get.
I have just the basics. So I do one by one. I don't do the bulk editing with them. They were supposed to do some kind of deal where they sent out a coupon, but before I had a chance to accept it, they retracted it, saying there was an issue. And I knew that Kat, the nurse flipper, I know she was going to do it. She got very upset about it enough where she actually canceled her regular subscription with them over it. Because they were supposed to give you the business thing or whatever for a big discount for like 3 months or something like that.
Right.
And they had made this big deal about it. There was a promotional person that was messaging you about it. And then when you were ready to do it, before we had a chance to do it, they ended up putting out a retraction saying that it wasn't working and, they were retracting it.
That's thing.
So it felt like almost like a bait and switch type situation, I think. And Kat got really upset about it. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to cancel.
Yeah, I knew she had pulled down like what she had, like as far as like she's like, I'm not messing with it anymore.
Yep.
But
so I do it one by one. Like I said, I go from eBay to Macari. And it works pretty well. And I think I use it mostly, like I said before, if I check something on Macari and it's selling for more, and on eBay it's selling for less because there's more people selling it, then I'll put it over to Macari.
Now, do you promote your listing on Macari, like where they're dropping the price on it, or how do you?
Sometimes, but I'll put the price up there high enough to where even though I'm promoting it,
mm-hmm.
I'm still getting plenty of dough on my sale, and I have them pay for shipping too.
I got you.
I mean, up to 15 ounces is only like $4.99 for them to pay.
Yeah.
Which is, I haven't had anybody that's had any issue. Now, when I first started Macari and I wasn't really selling anything, I was trying to do free shipping. And as soon as I changed to calculated shipping and doing it on there, I was getting sales. I've sold over 100 items in, I don't know. Or not 100. Was it 100 items? Here, I'll tell you in a minute. Action figures I do really well with on Macari.
Yeah, I would think that they'd do pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I've seen with people, and maybe that's just me, but what I've seen is different genres, do better in different platforms. Like I don't know what that is. Like, is it just because early on with Macari, everybody's like, yeah, like toys and games and video games, like that kind of stuff. But Sam sells books a mess on the Macari. Like he sells a little bit of everything. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can sell pretty much anything on Macari just like you can on eBay.
I
But
think
so my items that are listed on Macari is 146 items listed. My completed sales are only 13, but my profit is $301.
nice.
And my revenue was $335.
I gotcha.
So I mean, that's really good.
So how many items you got listed between both platforms? Like, I mean, obviously if you're cross listing, then that's kind of like one listing, but it's actually two listings.
Well, like I said, on Macari, I have 146. On eBay right now, I think I have almost 6, I want to say.
I gotcha.
View items in store, view seller store. $521.
I know I'm always looking at that stuff because of like sell through rate, and trying to just figure out the numbers of stuff to try to get a rough idea of what I need to do.
Right. Well, on eBay, on Macari, they have a nice report. It tells you your revenue, your profit, your items listed, your completed sales, your performance, impressions, item views, items likes, cancellation, shipping times, response times, seller ratings, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I just do what I do a lot of times. I mean, it's harder to do like the full like day to day, but like I'll just constantly look at my 90-day or my 31-day and just see like if I'm keeping track of what's sold number wise, then obviously I'm just dividing that out, then taking out my cost of goods. Now, I mean, I do like eBay's newer reporting, like where you can print your sales report, your performance. Like,
I haven't done that yet. Now, is that with managed payments though?
Nah, it's in the back office of your seller. Like if you go to your main page, like where the seller hub is. So, do you see a link over there that says performance?
I'm on there now. Let me see. Shortcuts. Okay, like the top. Performance top. Yes.
Yeah. So like there's one on there that has sales. If you click on that, it has like your basically you can do any time frame you want. Like you can customize your report, and it shows you like basically what your sales, all that kind of stuff for each day, like cost of goods.
Yeah, 30 today, this month, last month, this quarter.
Yeah. And you can customize it too, like where that little sales thing is. If you go all the way down, you see it has custom.
Yeah, so you could actually do the entire year.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Like you can look at a month, you can look at a year, you can look at the last 5 days, like whatever you want. And then it has that thing, where you can look at your total sales, what you paid, like taxes, government fees that they charge.
Right.
The buyer, not yourself, but the buyer. And then this, your actual selling cost, which would be all your fees. And that's going to be your fees, your shipping and handling, PayPal, if you still have that. So all the fees coming out. So then just showing your net after that. So, I mean, that helps for sure.
Yeah, that's nice.
When you're able to look at all that. Because if you have an idea what you're spending cost of goods, then, obviously you're just taking that number and subtracting your cost of goods, and you'll know what your net is. But
yeah, I write it on a notebook, but I'm actually working on getting that put on a spreadsheet so I can start doing it on the spreadsheet. Because since I started, I think I started, I don't know, around November or something of last year, I started writing all the what it sold for, what the cost of goods was, what the buyer paid for shipping, what I paid for shipping, and then I go to the calculation on the computer for the eBay calculator or whatever the heck it's called, eBay PayPal fee calculator.
Right.
And I have it calculated, and whatever the profit is, then I write that down.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I'm kind of slack about doing that myself. Like here lately, I've been buying mostly bulk buys. Mm-hmm. So like then I've got a bulk buy that basically I'm looking at simple accounting with. So like right now, I kind of know where I'm at as far as I know what I spent on all these items, and I know, where I'm at as far as what I've sold out of those buys. So like, I mean, there's the one that I dropped a video on this past week, that that DVD buy that. I mean, I know where I'm at as far as profit on that, and it's pretty. That one's really good. I've profited over $4,000 off of spending $500 some dollars. So,
wow, that is really good.
Yeah, that one's really good. But like the buys I'm on right now, so I did a boat and basically a bunch of boat parts and ATV parts.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one, and that one I spent just a little over $500 on as well. That one. I'm into profit now. I weren't into profit till last night, but I actually sold crazy. I sold a little part, things like this big, for $200.
Wow.
That put me now I'm like $75 into profit on that buy. This lawnmower buy, I'm getting close to break even because I sold a couple items out of this. I sold a lantern and a Crossman pellet gun, and so I'm about 400 and change right now on this.
Wow.
So, and a couple little odds and ends parts, but
right.
So I do more simple accounting like that. Like I know what I spent. Like I've got all this. So then once I get it the thing paid for, I just kind of look at it all as profit at that point. So as far as on accounting end, I just do simple cash accounting. Like I've spent this much on inventory. I've made this much off inventory. That's kind of how I work it.
Yeah. I think that's kind of how I've been doing it with writing it in the profit book. I keep thinking about doing the GoDaddy thing, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Well, I have GoDaddy. I do that, and I have it set up now. Like now that I've switched from PayPal to managed payments, like I have a Chime account, which is like online banking, and so I have that linked up to my GoDaddy now, so where it still kind of does the simple accounting side of things. Like if I need to take out cash for a yard sale, I just use my Chime card, go to the bank, take out the cash. So then I can go back in and notate, hey, that cash that came out, that went for this buy, or this whatever, this sale.
Yeah, see, I'm lacking on that part, the keeping track of that type of stuff. I'm pretty good about when the item sells, knowing what it sold for, and what the profit is on it and that stuff. But as far as writing down or something like that to keep track of exactly what I spend when I spend it, that's something that I'm lacking on. Like I can look at something and go, I know this was in a bulk deal and it was less than $1.
Yeah.
But to know exactly what I spent that day on everything or something like that, I'm lacking in.
Yeah, now that I just Commonwealth Picker Kevin does that thing where he does certain buys. Like if it's a bigger buy, he just writes it down. Like hey, this is my spend. This is where I'm at. Like what I had to do to shoot that video, I actually had to go back and pull everything I'd sold off of that. But some of it was easy because I was able to pull DVDs. Like I knew a lot of that was DVDs, so I just pulled my DVDs. I could look and say. But prior to now, my listings are I'm pushing on the 1,400 listings right now. So like, used to I could tell you pretty much what I had and everything. Like I remembered it.
1,400?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like used to when I was like 500 or 600, I could almost tell you. Like I remember what I bought stuff for, or I remembered if it was in a bulk buy. But now I'm getting to the place where I'm like, nah, it's too much. I can't remember where I got that from, what it was, how much it was, like that kind of thing.
So with the review your sales, you can only do 92 days worth. So I was trying to do it from January to current, and it kept pushing it back to April. I'm like, what the heck? And then I read it that says we can only show you 92 days of data. We adjusted the end date accordingly.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I've already wrote down what I had at the beginning of the year because I did a checkup like in May, so I had all that, and then I did a checkup recently because I've started trying to document every month like where I'm at sales wise, like total profit kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably did that when they updated. Took out the full look.
Yeah, because I thought I could check the entire year from January till current, and
Right.
it wouldn't let me do it. It kept pushing it back to April. I'm like, why is it doing this?
Once you pay your taxes, they reset, huh? Like April 15th. It's like, okay, we got to reset now. Random items.
Those are always good.
Yeah. I listed so many smalls the first half of my listing day. Like the other day, I was seeing cross-eyed, I think.
I can imagine. Sometimes that's what happens. Now, do you use a computer when you're doing your listings?
Nah.
You don't do it from your phone?
Right from the phone. I do mostly sell similar. I mean, obviously, I'm going to check and make sure no one's done dumb stuff. Is that you?
The chime thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to go flip the light real quick because I just noticed that this thing is not charging.
Oh, okay.
My phone, that is.
That would be a bad thing.
Yeah, I'll be dead in the water.
Well, he said he did that, but I don't see it anywhere. The heck did he call it?
Let's see.
Yeah, it helps to do it on the computer because I can do Control F when it comes to the drafts. And that'll help me find the items because he takes a bunch of stuff and he'll pre-list it, puts it in bins. Then I take it and take pictures of it. And then from the pictures, I check comps and all that stuff and then, upload it. Or sometimes I'll do it reverse like I'm doing right now. These pictures haven't been taken for these items, but I'm going to go ahead and do the listing, get it all completely done, and then do the pictures, which won't take any time at all.
There you go.
But then there's some stuff that he does that I can't find. So then I'm like, okay, well, it's in the bin, but yet I don't see it in the draft. So then it's trying to figure out what he called it versus what I would have called it. I got these boxers I found. They're called Pro Club Classic Men's Boxer Trunks. They're a size 7XL. There's actually 2 in a package.
Huh. Let's see.
Stretch. Contour. What the heck did you call these?
Hey, how many items did Joey get listed when he was on with you?
I don't remember, but he did have some pre-listings done.
Yeah, I was messing with him that one day. He listed like 3 items one day when he had his thing. It is wild to watch different people list, like just how they do. Everybody does stuff different.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
Like people are always asking me about that. I was like, man, because I crank through them, but like I said, I don't get as. Some people write some novels about what they're doing. I just kind of keep it kind of simple. Unless it's stuff. I was joking with the guys the other day about having a see you later pile. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, I got a see you later pile over here. I was like, meaning if I can't find it in a couple minutes, I'm setting it aside. Like I was like, I'm not messing with it. Moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
And so I was like, I can't wait forever. Like I gotta. Especially, I mean, if it's a super valuable item, I'll take more time. But if it's a $5, $10, $15 item, I'm moving on.
RD.
What the heck is going on with that thing? Do you work with templates or anything like that, or you just kind of?
No, I pretty much just look around at, like sometimes Terapeak and stuff like that and kind of get an idea, look at solds. And then based on that, I pull information from, those sources and then put it in the listing.
Yeah, I think that's why I list like fast, because I pull the sell similar. Like I said, I'm looking at and I just scan through it and make sure there ain't nothing screwy, because occasionally you have people that have different things where they hadn't paid attention to the previous listing. But
right, exactly.
Like I'm very simple on my description, unless there's something wrong with it. But like lately, I've been doing a lot of this old stock, so like I don't take the time to go in a very long descriptive. I was like, it's in the box, it's got a model number, you can kind of see for yourself what it is here.
Right. Yeah, I do a lot of the new old stock stuff too.
Yeah, that's why I like that stuff so much, is because it's easy to list. Like you don't have to go through a whole lot of stuff. Whereas when you're selling used one-off stuff, a lot of times you have to put in work on the listing window.
Yeah, and you got to be careful that if it is used, you're not putting it in as new.
Yeah.
Because then you'll look at comps and go, that's really good, and then you realize it's not so good if it's used.
Nah. That's crazy. That's one of the things with Amazon. Like you'll scan something and it'll pop up. It's like, man, that thing's like $100. Then you pull it up, used is like $2.99. Like you're like, what's going on there?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah, I think I have like 80 or so on Amazon now,
Oh wow.
but all fulfilled by myself. Like I haven't sent anything in. Mostly books. I was doing books on there.
Now, how did you get where you weren't gated or whatever they talk about on that?
Well, books. Most anybody can do books used. And then once you start selling a little bit of stuff, like some things start opening up. Like not everything's gated. Like some of the stuff that I listed was actually items that I'm the only one that has the item, but it's already on Amazon. So like they're not going to turn you down on that because they're they're wanting the item, you know.
Right.
So I've had some of that. Like when I bought, I don't know how much you've watched on my channel before, but I did a massive like sporting goods buy.
Uh-huh.
And so that thing has some items in there that I was able to put on Amazon that eBay didn't really have much for. So I got some of them on there that I'm the only one on the listing. Like somebody has sold it at some point, but I'm the only one that on a current listing. So
Gotcha.
that they tend to like let that kind of stuff slide a little bit because obviously they're trying to get as many SKUs as possible, especially if they're not having to store it, ship it, all that kind of stuff. So,
Right, because you're doing all that, so you're kind of,
yeah,
taking that away from them so they don't have to worry about it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been kind of nervous on sending stuff into them, but I haven't done any of that yet. I mean, I've been talking to some people that do Amazon a little bit more, like than what I do,
Mm-hmm.
or a lot more than what I do.
Have they been doing it a while
They
now?
tend to be, yeah. They do pretty good, but like I said, there's two things. A, you spend a lot of money to be an Amazon. Like,
Yeah.
in the sense of the profit is not like what I'm working with now. Like, most of the time, Amazon, you're talking like 20 to 40%, maybe. Like that's what your ROI, like you might be getting that. Whereas, like I can go to the yard sale, like I said, spend $500 and make $4,000. That's
Right.
a lot better ROI than what like
Yeah, that's true.
when you're spending $4,000 to make $800, like that ain't
Yeah, that doesn't add up.
that don't match my business model right now. It may be one day, but like not now.
Definitely not.
But to each their own. But then Amazon's a volume play. Like you might like send stuff into Amazon and sell $2, $3, $4,000 in a day. Like that happens too, or more.
Right. But it's just like anything else. I mean, it just depends on what information you have to what you're going to be able to use.
Yep. Yeah, it's all relative to what you're where you're at in your own journey.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody to leap into Amazon right out of the gate, especially not knowing what you're doing. I'm running into some stuff I've already listed yesterday. So upping the quantity.
Right.
That's always good.
Definitely. have a hard time not trying to hit the stars either sometimes when it comes to stuff. So I'm trying to rethink that. Like, just because I pay 50 cents don't mean I need to try to hit $20.
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of I send watchers to offers every day. I mean, offers to watchers every day.
Yeah, I send it every time I get somebody that's watching. I send offers.
Yeah, I usually I'll get up in the morning and send whoever's watching, and then in the evening I'll do it again. But I don't do it throughout the day. I just kind of let it roll during the day. But in the morning and the evening I'll do it. Occasionally, if it's like a really big item that I know I ain't got much in, I'll send that out separate. But I just do the bulk one in the morning and the evening. I'll send that one out and see what happens.
So do you have like when you're doing your smalls and stuff, do you have a base of like what you're wanting to try to get? So if you buy it for $1, are you good with $10 or are you shooting for $20, $30?
Nah, if it's smalls like this kind of stuff, I'm underpricing a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to sink anybody's ship, but if it's like this item I'm listing right now is a $5 item. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna sell it at like $4.75 just to get rid of it, because for me, it took me like a minute to list it. Like, I'm
right.
not, and it weighs like an ounce, so it's going in a poly bag. Like,
gotcha. Now, are you doing free shipping or are you doing calculated?
No, I'll do free. Everything under £1, I usually do free. I've started doing that recently. I used to do everything a little different. But what I've noticed is eBay does give you a little bump if you offer free shipping.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get in that search, you're going to be a little bit better off than what other people are. Because you got the tag on there, fast and free. Like, I ship in one day. So.
Yeah, I have mine set for 1 business day as well.
Yeah, take advantage of that discount. So, I mean, something like this, I'm only taking one picture of the box and letting her go. I mean, it's got what it is. Like, people can look at it. I've got a stock photo. That's kind of what I do. But like I said, now, if it's a pricier item, obviously I'm going to spend a little more time on it.
Right.
But something like this, hey, here's the Briggs & Stratton box. Here's the item number. Go for it if you want it. I'm sticking that thing in the... Because like I was saying, like, all of this is bulk buys. So right. I've got pennies into these things. Like I said, I bought 17 boxes of parts. The average box probably has 50 parts in it. Like, I mean, you're talking, there's pennies in here, like maybe 8 cents I've got in this.
Right.
And I've already, like I said, I'm already almost at profit on all this anyway. So now it's just a matter of moving it. And I don't mind, I don't know if you've done these kind of calculations before, but like to see what your average item is. But like I do that. Like I'm looking at the gross, not the net, obviously, but like I'm at like 32, 33 is where I'm hanging at now, average item. So $32, $33.
Right.
So I'll sell like a high dollar item, then I'll sell one of those items, kind of balances, everything balances out.
Yeah, that's true. I think I do it in my head and stuff, but I don't actually have calculations written down and all that.
Yeah. Well, that one's pretty easy. You can actually just take your phone and when you pull up your 90-day, just look at what you got total sales divided by total items, and it'll tell you what you're. ROI pretty quick.
So go to selling app, or
Yeah.
go to selling, and then go to
Like on the main page, like when you pull up your
sales for 31 days.
yeah, or like for me on the app on my phone, it comes up a 90-day average, right? So I've got mine does. I don't know. Other people's may do 31, but mine defaults to that. Either way, though, you're just taking your total sales, total dollar figures, whatever that is, and then divide it by how many items you sold, and that tells you like your gross, what you sold per item, like what the average cost of, average selling price of your item is. Now, obviously, that's gross. It's got your taxes and fee,
Right.
shipping, and all that stuff included. But
no, I don't see on here where it tells you how many items you sold in that period of time, though.
you have it on your phone, or are you looking at it on your?
I'm on the desktop, so
Yeah.
it says review your sales.
Yeah, if you look on your phone, hold on a second. I'm behind because I'm on the. Like for me, if I pull up my phone, I get this screen, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So up at the top, it has the 90-day total.
Yep. So take that figure and divide it by how many items you sold in the same 90 days.
Now, how do you break it down to just 90 days, though? Because, like, it shows. Can you see that?
Yeah, so it shows that you sold 61 items in 90 days.
So it's 61 at 90 days, or is that 61 since I started?
No, 90 days.
Okay.
All those numbers right there are 90 days, like except for the active listings.
Gotcha.
That's what's currently active.
So take the 1680.39 and divide 61 into it.
Take that 1260 or whatever you had there, or whatever. What was your whatever that total was?
1680.39.
80.39.
80.39. And then divide it by 61.
Yep.
So 27.54.
Yep. So that's your average item, is what it sells for all in. That's what people are spending.
So
obviously you're taking your
horrible.
No, it's not bad. I mean, so now you think about, like, if you were to figure your sell-through rate, right? Like, so if I took so obviously if I took that 61, now, I mean, I'm sure you've geared up a little bit over that 90-day course of period of time, like as far as listings, right? So like if I got 453 listings and I'm selling 61 in 90 days, right? So basically, if you sold 61 in 90 days, you're under one a day, right? One a day. So,
one a day as far as selling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like myself, I mean, I'm over one a day, so like it's easier for me to calculate it. But what I try to do is I look at how many listings I have, and then how many items I average selling a day. So like, say for me, I'm at, let's look at it here. So I'm at 527 over 90 days. That's what I've sold, 527 items. So if I take that 527 and divide that by 90 days, I'm selling like 5.85 a day. Now, I would say over my 90 days, I've probably had right around the 1,000 item mark.
Yeah.
So if I was to take that 1,000 items and look at the fact that I'm only selling 5.8 a day, that means that my sell-through rate is 0.58 according to how many items I have listed, right? So now if I'm looking at that 0.58, like basically I'm selling 5.8 items a day at 1,000 listings. So some people, like, the theory is,
so does that mean you have 5 items going out per day being sold?
Yeah, 5.8. So I'm right at 6. That's how many I got going out a day at 1,000 listings. So I'm at like 0.6, like 0.58 percentage, right? So if I use that same percentage, if I had 2,000 items, then I would be selling, in theory, I would be selling 11 to 12 items a day. That's what a lot of people talk about. Like if you're talking about your sell-through rate, like I'm selling per listing, I'm selling this percentage.
Gotcha.
It's kind of how it works. I mean, that's a theory. Obviously, it all depends on what you got listed, because, I know when I first started, I'm listing some mess. Like some of it's still hanging out. Like I've had bad buys, or like a lot of this stuff I'm buying right now. At one point, I was averaging a 1% sell-through rate. So I was selling, like, I had maybe 500-600 items, and I was selling 5 to 6 items a day. So I was basically selling an item a day. But now I've got a lot more long tail stuff because I've been buying all these parts. So
right.
There ain't but so many people that are going to buy this particular part every day, versus like if I got video games and everybody's out here looking for this video game, that's going to go out pretty quick.
Right.
But
that's true.
What I do with that number, though, is I use it for motivation to list, really, because I'm thinking, hey, if I'm selling at 1,000 listings, if I'm selling 6 a day, what happens if I get to 1,500? Am I now selling 9 a day? Like, right. That's kind of my reason for doing that. Like other people look at, because I'm a numbers nerd about that kind of stuff. Like I think about, hey, what can I do to increase my sales?
Right.
I mean, there's basically a couple things you can do. You can up that first number we talked about, your per item, like basically what you're selling things for. So, if you're at a 27, if you got to a 30, if you sell 10 items at $27, 10 items at $30, you're making 10% more.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
One of those things. So those are the 2 ways you can increase your sales volume as far as dollar figure, is either up that or up the number of items you're selling every day.
Now, are you currently running a sale in your store, and do you do that all the time?
Nah, I don't. I've done a sale one time.
Really?
Yeah, I got on board with, I know Kat and them do that all the time. And like, I tried it out, but I was like, man, it's too much to keep up with. Because like, I know they do that kind of sneaky stuff. They do that. I joke about it being the Kmart sales. Like, when my Kmart was going out of business,
yeah,
I used to go in there and source some, and I was looking at some Marvel action figures.
Right.
I knew the price, and they were like $18.95, which was still like basically it only left me about 35% return on investment. And I was like, I'd been watching those things, and I was like, man, I said, when they run this sale, so the next thing I know, they're going out of business. The first drop was 30%. So I'm like, man, 30%. All right. I go in there. Now those things are priced $21.95. So 30% put me right back at the same ROI. I was like, man, so all they did was raise the price and then drop it the same amount pretty much.
Exactly.
Like they basically raised the price by 35% and ran a 25% and ran a 30% sale. So I know some other people that do that.
Yeah.
With their eBay store. I've heard people talk about it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, that's to each their own. Like people can do what they want, but to me, I don't know. I just, that seems like a lot of trouble. Like if I was watching an item, I saw him do that. Watching an item, you get a notification that something changed price wise on it. So if I was watching your item and you did that, I probably wouldn't buy from you. Like, okay, big guy, I see what you're doing there. But that's to each their own. I know they've had success doing that. I tried it one time. I didn't really see much of a bump off of it. But like I said, I will send offers to watchers. I generally do anywhere from 8 to 10% is what I'll do. But I've also like if it's higher dollar items, I know 8 to 10% ain't gonna hurt me on anything, right? Like it's not that's not gonna make or break me on that.
And that's where it comes down to what did you buy it for?
Yep, exactly. Well, all the resellers
I mean, that's where we make our money is when we're buying the item, not when we're selling it.
I was gonna say all the resellers will tell you that. You make your money on the buy. If you get it cheap enough, you can sell it and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I try to keep my stuff. I want to be around a 20% is about what I try to be. Like on some items, I'm going to be more. Some items, I'm going to be less. But I try to average it to where my cost of goods is always like 20% or less. It's kind of on the average.
Right.
I mean, unless it's like a serious home run, I know it's going to sell. Like, I could list it in the parking lot and sell it before I get out of the parking lot. I'll pay up for that for sure.
You have a lot of lists, or have you had a lot of buys or sells? I guess you could say that sold like within minutes of listing.
Probably about 20. Yeah, that sold very like one of those king pricing stuff that you're like, oh man, I must have underpriced that. Like you're like, and usually it's higher dollar items that do that for me. Where I'm like,
I got a water filter that I did that with the other day. I listed it, and not even 10 minutes after I listed it, I had an offer.
Yeah.
And it was from one of those companies that sell water filters.
Oh yeah. Now I have some companies like that I know watch my. I think they have bots that are like, there are buying bots. Like you can actually, I've heard like Tommy Bernard and some of those guys talk about like using buying bots to where those things are constantly scanning the internet to see if anything hits. Like anything that's specific as to what they're looking for, and then they'll send the notification like right then that hey, this is in stock. Or sometimes you can even set it for it to go ahead and buy it as long as it's at under a certain cost or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happens with some of those instant sales like that. Drop shippers, I get them on occasion. They'll buy it when it hits, like DVD combo or something that maybe I've underpriced.
Right.
They'll jump on that pretty quick.
Yeah, you get those ones that tell you don't put any kind of any kind of stuff in there.
No eBay tape or invoice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all my shipping supplies say eBay. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah. You're on your own, pal. My thought is I always like, dude, you're not going to see it anyway. It's not going to you. Like, you're not ever going to know whether I put eBay tape on it or not.
Right. As long as your person is happy that they got the item that you wanted them to get.
I tell you what's funny. I had one time. So I had a combo unit, DVD VCR, and same thing. I listed it and it sold pretty quick. They got the message, don't include any packing, whatever, that whole thing. And I was like, okay. So I send it out, get a return request on it. The return request states this thing will not hook up to HDMI. I'm like, well, duh. It's like from the 80s or 90s. Like it's not got HDMI capability. And in my pictures on the combo units, I always take a picture of the backs, every connection. I take a picture of serial number, like the whole bit. And that's one thing I do include in my descriptions is it does not, just the capability it has as far as hookups. Right. RCA cables or like coaxial, like all those kind of things. And so I had all that in the listing. So I get the return request. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay like that full amount. I was like, okay, well, return it to me. And so the guy returns it. And I open the box, and my unit is still in great shape. There's a bubble mailer in the box. And I was like, well, I know I didn't put a bubble mailer in the box. A remote in the box, right? So the guy not only drop shipped from me, he drop shipped from somebody else who sent a remote.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, okay. So I did not refund his shipping either way because I was like, man, there's nothing wrong with the unit. Item is as described. I didn't refund the shipping. I don't know if eBay took care of him or not on that. And I honestly relisted it. This time I relisted it with the remote, and it sold within a day. So I was like, that's crazy.
Wow.
But
that's crazy quotes.
Sometimes you wonder about some of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because those guys are working off a lot smaller margin with the drop shipping world.
Can make a bunk bed twin of queen. This is another pattern by 2 quick filters. Just shows 2 piece. Has used on piece.
So you used to do mostly jewelry? Is that what I picked up on your?
Yeah, I was doing I just closed that out. I hate when I do that. I was doing jewelry sales, and I was selling on Facebook Lives.
Now, were you doing like one of those companies, or were you just doing?
Yes and no. Long story short, when I worked for Sears, I was getting gift cards for doing warranties. And we used to get actual money, but then they turned it into gift cards where we had to use the gift cards at a Sears or a Kmart, which of course Kmart had closed. The Sears I worked at the time was a hometown store, and the closest regular Sears was about 30 minutes away. So I would either go online or go to the department store and look for clearance jewelry, buy it, and then turn around and resell it. And I made like $550 one Christmas when I did that.
Wow.
So, which was amazing. So then I was like, well, I'd like to find a company to sell jewelry with, but I don't want it to be one of these ones that I hear about all the time. So I was basically researching, and I came across one called Sedalia Designs out of Colorado. So I joined Sedalia Designs, and I was with them, and I'd get jewelry at whole cost or less, and I was selling it through my website. And the nice thing about that company is you can sell for whatever markup you want to, versus a lot of the companies were like, well, if you buy it for this, you can only sell it for that. Or you can't sell it here, or you can't do that. And this company that I signed up with wasn't like that. You were pretty much open to whatever you wanted to do with it once it, it was your stock basically.
Right.
So I did that, and then I started finding jewelry from other people. People found out I was selling jewelry. So the next thing I know, I had like a plethora of jewelry. So I was selling jewelry, doing lives and stuff like that. Well, then I don't remember exactly how I started looking at other stuff, but I started looking into other stuff to flip, and that caught on. And then so once I did that, and I went ahead and started eBay, and I started working with doing whatever. Right. Now I have all this jewelry that I'm not really doing anything with, but there are times I still have repeat customers that will message me and ask me if I have something, or they're looking for something or something like that. So I've thought about putting it on my eBay store, but I don't have anything pulling me to it because I have so much other stuff to list.
Yeah.
So, and of course, sourcing is the most fun part, but I have tons of stuff that needs to be that's not listed.
You could jump on somebody's auction one night, just sell some lots of it to resellers.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. It's just trying to figure out, what to put together for a lot and how much to charge, with shipping and all that. Because I'm not real good with, like, I've never shipped anything yet with UPS or FedEx, so
Yeah.
I'm very green when it comes to that. So I've had a couple of times where I thought I was going to end up going FedEx or UPS, and it didn't because I went ahead and just paid the difference and did through Priority instead.
Yeah, UPS and FedEx. I might be bad. I've never got a kickback for it, but I've actually used a box before to go to FedEx, like the USPS box, because I was going to do the same thing. I was like, now if I do it, I will at least cover it with a bag. But I've done it a few times where I was kind of in a pinch, and I was like, dude, it's got to go out. Like, I've got to do something. So, but it was like $13 FedEx and $30 USPS. So I was like, well, that's kind of a no brainer. Like $17. That's something I just take mine to Walgreens. They scan it in, prints the label out the same. Only difference is you get billed for FedEx, like versus it coming out automatically out of your PayPal. Like, are you still on PayPal or managed payments?
I'm on PayPal still because I haven't flipped over to Magic Payments. I haven't flipped over to managed payments yet.
I got you. Have you already filled?
Everybody keeps messaging me about it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just different. Like,
yeah.
I used to work. And I still have credit card processing. I work for a credit card processing company as doing sales. So I have customers still with that. So I understand how all that works. Plus, I've owned a brick and mortar business before. So it's similar, very similar to that. Like, if people pay with a credit card and you own a business, you're having to wait a day or two to get your money. It's just how it works because it has to process through both banks. Like, basically what PayPal was doing with us is they were giving you a loan ahead of time on that money. That's kind of how it was working. But there is some bonuses to having managed payments, though. I mean, obviously not having to pay that invoice. Like my invoice this month with where I'm at on sales, which was pretty substantial. Like, my invoice is $90, but it's because of FedEx. Like, literally, like 85 of it is FedEx. Like,
wow.
The rest of it is I think there was something else. Oh, my store subscription was the other part.
See, that's the thing about Mercari that I like. I don't have to worry about a store subscription with Mercari, and I can list 2,000, 3,000 items if I want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big bonus.
Well, when you switch to managed payments, if you even have a basic store, they up your listings a lot more with managed payments.
Right. Yeah, I have the premium store is what I have with eBay.
Yeah, so that's a little bonus. Like, I don't know whether you got that email. I actually did a video about that, like where they had came out there. One of my videos where it's talking about managed payments is talking about that. Like, I went through that whole email and like how many extra free listings you get because of managed payments versus the way it was before.
Yeah, I saw a video. I don't know if it was yours or whose it was. It was somebody's that was talking about that, though. And it was talking about the differences and stuff. And when I've been doing my fee calculator, it's got managed payments versus PayPal thing on it. And I'll look at it and see what it is now and what it would be if it was on managed payments, just to kind of give an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's very close. I know internationally they do charge I think it's like 1.5% on international sales, which is something a little different than what they were doing before. But I mean, the way I look at it, the whole thing with eBay, as long as it don't get like way out of hand, I'm not balking. I mean, it's millions of eyeballs on my stuff where I would, if I was trying to do it on my own, that it ain't gonna happen. Like you're not gonna get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're trying to do Shopify or something crazy like that, like you're not gonna get that kind of volume.
Yeah, I started to do Shopify before I did an eBay store, and then I ended up just going with eBay because, you don't have to pull in the traffic. eBay does that for you.
Yeah.
Where with Shopify, you were doing everything.
Well, just got a return on a lawnmower belt.
Oh, that's not good.
Guy said it didn't fit. It was only $8.95. So
Yeah.
that'll be an instant refund. I'm not paying for shipping coming back. Like, that is one thing that some people like. Depending on if people are a jerk or not. Like if somebody's a jerk, I'll kind of make them jump through the hoop. But the guy's like, "Hey man, the belt didn't fit. It says the same part number, but it don't fit." So I'm just like, well, $8.95 is what I have in it. So if I bring that thing back, now I've paid $5. Like,
You paid $95 for it?
He paid $8.95 for it.
And what'd you have in it? Is that one of the ones you had a penny in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm that's an instant refund. Why would I spend more money? Like I already paid shipping one direction. I don't want to pay shipping again coming back. I think it's like a $5 ship. That's what it was. But
yeah. I don't do free shipping on anything anymore. I do all calculated shipping. I tried to do free shipping when I first started, but I got bit too many times, and I'm like, nope, I'm just too calculated.
Yeah, well, you definitely need to take an account. Like the only way I do it pretty much is if I've either added the money back in, like, to where I've got enough to cover, even if it went to California, which Puerto Rico gets me every once in a while. Like if it's a heavier item, if I've done a free ship by mistake.
Yeah.
But you can exclude those. You can make them have to pay if they're Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii. You can add more on.
Well, I went and tried eBay's ship to Canada cheaper, yada yada. So instead of doing global shipping, which is what I've done, and I've had no issues.
Yeah.
I did their ship to Canada situation, and I had 2 DVDs that the guy paid $12 for, and I ended up paying $16 for shipping. For 2 DVDs that if I would have done it the other way, it would have been a lot less because it was media.
Yeah.
So immediately I took all my international shipping back to global, and I was like, yeah, you can keep that easy thing.
Yeah. Since I switched to global shipping, I don't do anything else. Like I do global shipping. Like if somebody messages me from Canada, if it's on like an item that I'm like, well, I don't have a whole lot in this, like if it's something that's been hanging out for a while,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll look out for you. I'll pop in Pirate Ship and do that.
Yeah,
if it's a lighter item.
As well. But I've never done Pirate Ship for exporting stuff, even though Kat's told me that you can, I guess, send them a message or something and get.
I wouldn't do it right now. Like I wouldn't do it right now. The way the post office is, I'd be nervous about it right now. Just to be honest,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why I like the GSP. Like you're saying, there's no problems between me and Kentucky.
Exactly.
I can get it to Kentucky. I ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah.
After that, it's on eBay. I ain't had no problems with that. But I've shipped that global shipping flat rate before through Pirate Ship. But it's got to be under 4 pounds, And I think 18 by 18 by 18, like it can't be anything bigger than that, under 4 pounds.
Right.
And it's flat rate. So to Canada, it's a lot cheaper to go to Canada. But like I said, if it's over 4 pounds, I ain't doing it. It's just going global shipping. It's just going to have to go that way. And the only way I'll do it to Canada is if someone messages me and say, hey, can you do a little bit better on the shipping? If they don't message me, then they can just pay whatever they're going to pay to go global shipping. I'm not going to. That may sound like I'm not going to take the bath on it. Like,
right.
Somebody else can look at it. But do know.
I should make another. I did not know. I should do that. I don't remember how to do that. Visit store. Manage store. Okay. And then store categories. And then add a category. I'm going to do crafts. And we're going to do parts. You have tools on there already. I have household. Office. I guess we do office. No, let's go office. So how long have you been reselling, Eric?
Right at a year now.
So you started around right about the same time I did then.
Yeah, I started September. I kind of got into it. My daughter was doing LuLaRoe, and she kind of quit doing that. So
you took it over.
Well, I was like, it's got to get out of our house one way or another. That's kind of what was going down. So that was what we did. And I put it some on eBay. It didn't really do much. So I decided that I was going to look at other avenues. But in the meantime, I had my app on. So we would usually go to yard sales and thrift stores anyway, just kind of looking, hanging out, whatever.
Right.
See if there's anything that we were interested in. But so I ended up taking and scanning some action figures at a yard sale one day and found out that they sold for a lot of money. And then that was it. I was kind of in it after that.
The reselling game again.
Yeah, I mean, I probably made $2 or $3 grand off those items. So I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my first lots that I did, that I bought in bulk was, I want to say it was 32 for $80. Lord of the Rings action figures.
I gotcha.
And I still have half of a tub to still sell, and I've been in the profit with those for a little while already. Because some of them sold for like $40, some sold for $20. So, and Macari, I sold really good with action figures there because I could do the shipping usually at $4.99.
Yeah.
So if I was doing it for, selling it for say $30, Macari took 10%. I was still making, like $25, $26.
Right.
So I did really well with that. And I still have, like I said, I have more of those to list.
Yeah, that's how it was with me. I saw that. I saw the potential. I was like, wow, it's pretty good to see that. So
It's hard to believe some of the stuff that you see, though.
for sure.
I mean, even hearing some of the resellers talk about some of the stuff they've done, it's like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I sold, like I said, I don't know if you've seen that one, but I sold a box of sealed Pokemon cards for $2,500.
$500?
Yeah,
Wow. What'd you have in those?
$50.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's
Wow.
my best flip by far.
I guess so.
As far as one item going nuts with it, like it definitely was one of those things that gets you pretty amped up.
Yeah, definitely. That'll give you motivation.
Yeah, I ended up splitting that deal with my buddy. He might still be watching. I know he was putting this on at the station, but yeah,
Ken?
Yep, me and Ken were in on that deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We both were talking about how we on the way to that sale.
Yeah.
We were talking about. I'd already been there one time. And the guy, I was like, this guy's got some stuff. Like, we'll see what he does, And I'd already picked up some decent stuff there the week before. So the guy's like, yeah, tomorrow's my last day. I'm done after that. And I was like, wow, that's one of those things. Maybe we can get some deals. So he pulls that stuff out and says that it's, he goes, I think somebody told me this is worth over $1,000. And I was like,
right.
You kind of roll your eyes about stuff like, I know everybody does that. Like,
exactly. You're like, yeah, right.
Okay, whatever. Like, I've heard that a million times. People are saying that stuff. So,
okay, so they have gold.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, whatever, dude. Kind of that kind of thing. And then I figured out that pretty quickly. I told Ken, I was like, hey, man, scan one of those packs. He had some loose packs, and then he had the box. And the box is in Japanese. So I was like, man, I don't even know what this is. Like, is it good? Is it not good?
Translation for that one.
Yeah, kind of. And I don't know anything about Pokemon. Like,
right.
That's never been something I was into. So I was like, man, I said, maybe it's good, maybe it ain't, kind of thing. He scanned one pack, and it was $60. I was like, okay. So that the box had 60 in it. 60 packs. And the box was sealed. So I was like, yeah, we might have a little something here. And so I basically quit picking at the sale. Like, I picked up a couple odds and ends, but I was like, man, I don't know how much cash you got. I know what I got. And I don't know what this guy's going to ask for it. If he's saying it's worth $1,000, like, is he going to say $300-$400? Like, or is he going to say like $600? Like, I don't know.
Right.
So we do that, and Hold on. My computer shut down. I didn't know if I went off. We get ready to check out with him, and I had a pile, and Ken had a pile. Then we had those cars. I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna split that. We're gonna split those." And he goes, "Well, how you want me to do it? You want me to figure it all up? You want to give me a price on each?" And I was like, "Well, I guess if you just want to price it, out individually, then we'll do it like that." So that guy, he tells me that on my pile was like $60. Ken's pile's like $30. And so we're waiting for the hammer to drop. We're like, okay, so what's he going to ask for this stuff on?
Right.
And he said $50. I about tripped on myself trying to get my wallet out. I was like, man. So
wow.
we ended up splitting profit on that deal, but we both netted a grand. Spending $25 a piece, we netted a grand.
That's awesome.
So after that, when I told you I got Ken into reselling, I think that one kind of dinged his eyes.
That's how we got into it, huh?
Yeah. He was selling a little bit of stuff before that. He had a bunch of John Deere tractors and stuff that he had for a minute, and so he did that. He was selling those because he started looking them up after I showed them to him, and he's like, "Man, those things are worth a lot of money." I was like, "Yeah, they're pretty good."
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we have a good time with all that. Like, it's nice to have somebody closer that you can bounce stuff off of. Like, he's always tagging me and stuff. I'll tag him back and stuff like that I've seen on Marketplace or he's seen on Marketplace. Or like I'll let him know if I got some inside scoops
right
on some deals or whatever.
That's cool.
So
I know that's what Kat did with Joey when they hadn't even really they didn't even know each other, and they went in on a deal for the phone soap, I think it was.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money off that, but at first Joey was like, I don't even know this person.
Right.
I am gonna do this.
I mean, that's sometimes you just got to take a chance. You kind of got to, like, that's what I've learned about reselling. I mean, it is kind of one of those things, like, sometimes you have to risk it.
Yeah.
I had a friend who used to say, risk it for the biscuit. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to risk it. I mean, calculated risk, obviously. Like, you got to be a little bit wise about stuff, but you.
Right.
I'm trying to do a.
What these are? They're all Donna Lee. 14 count, 8 o'clock. TMC floss. Medium charge. Alright, so this one has floss. This one don't have any floss. This one don't have any floss.
I'm working on getting my live stream stuff set up for tonight.
Gotcha.
My sub count keeps bouncing all over the place. It's crazy.
Some people were saying there was something about YouTube was deleting subs and stuff.
Yeah, they scrub every now and then, like scrub for bots or. I tell you, it's kind of funny though. Now, like some of my videos get thumbs down, and like it's ones that you're like, I don't know why that happened. Like right now, I've got a thumbs down on my video coming up tonight, and we've not even done anything
yet.
It's for my live stream tonight.
You got a thumbs down already, and you ain't even started?
Yeah, already.
That's not good. Somebody's messing with you.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's interaction. You can thumbs down all you want. YouTube, honestly, we use it the same. You move somebody enough to get a reaction out of them. That's all they care about.
What is it? Any publicity is better than no publicity.
Right. If they ain't talking about you.
Country courtship.
Huh. Let's see.
USA Dove's Heart? Oh, Dove's Heart. Okay.
So with Sears shutting down, was that something that kind of pushed you towards the reselling thing, or you just
No, Sears shut down. I worked for corporate Sears for almost 6 years. Then they closed my store down. That was in 2012. Then I went to work at the hometown store, and I worked for them for 3 years.
right?
And then I went to a doctor's office, so I left them. And then a year later, they closed. That store got closed down. But while I was at the hometown stores, when the gift card situation brought me to buying jewelry on clearance and then turning around and flipping it. So I feel that's kind of where it started at as far as the flipping game goes.
Yeah, I think you, I mean, I enjoy it. Like I do. This part of it's kind of tedious, like doing the whole listing and all that kind of stuff. But
I don't mind the listing and stuff. I don't know what part I would say is most frustrating. I guess it would be shipping, because I want to I want to get into bigger items and glass stuff and stuff like that, but I don't feel like I'm confident enough to do it, I guess. So shipping, I think, is my biggest anxiety as far as it goes.
yeah, I mean, I think some of it is just it's kind of like a lot of things. I guess it's just
Trial and error.
stepping out and doing it. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Kat and Tim talked me in to start selling a little bit of glass. Like I watched one of Kat's videos and I was talking to her about like, man, I'm just nervous about shipping the glass because when I first got it going, kind of with YouTube and all that, like I was definitely nervous about all that. But I bought a collection of carousel horses, and they're all like like this tall, like not huge ones. There was a couple that were real big, but most of them were that size. And man, I busted about 4 or 5 of those things shipping.
Oh no!
Like, and I was yes, I was like, oh my god, I bought like almost 100 of them rigs. I still got some, but they were selling pretty good, and I busted a huge one that I sent out for like $125.
Oh no!
And so I'm like, I mean, the guy sent me pictures. I was like, dude, I'm gonna refund you the money, like if you want to keep it or trash it or whatever you want to do. And everybody was kind. I even had one lady I busted one of them for, and she's like, well, I glued it back together. I refunded the full thing, and she bought another one. And the next one I actually shipped, it made it. But what I learned is like they have legs. So it has a wooden base and then the legs and the pole, because it's carousel.
Mm-hmm.
So what was happening is, I guess, like those things used to have stoppers that would hold the horse in place, like above the wooden base. Well, those stoppers were like dry rot. So when the thing would ship and the thing would jar around, it would like basically not impact those legs onto the wood. So the legs is what kept breaking. And then I finally figured that out, that, hey, if I put some cushion between the legs and the bottom and like wrap each leg individual and that kind of stuff.
Use
like,
a lot of bubble.
Yeah. Like Tim basically told me, he said, bubble it till you can bounce it off the table. Like that's what he told me. And,
right.
So I did. I started shipping those things out and they were doing all right. And then I rolled into one of my thrift stores one day and they had a full set of china. And it was only missing a few items, but it was like kind of a rare piece. Like, I mean, the the bowls and plates and stuff were selling for like $10, $13 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to Kat about it. I was like, Kat, like I'm kind of wanting to like jump on this because I picked it up for $5. Like,
oh wow, the whole set?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna give her a go, kind of thing. And so after doing that, I've sold probably about half of it now, and I haven't broke a single thing out of that.
Knock on wood somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've taken some advice, and just how to do it. Like I got some of that foam that's like the sheets of foam.
Yeah.
So for the plates and whatnot, I'll wrap that with the sheet of foam, and then I'll come with some bubble, and then basically with paper, like make a nest, pretty much like a nest above and below. Because basically what they said is if you shake the box, like you shouldn't hear it moving, like you shouldn't hear it moving. And if you get to that point, then you're pretty good. Like you just stand a good shot. So
and you don't want it to be touching the edges of the box on the inside.
And see, then Tim showed me something else. Like I was telling you about what Tim was saying. So he showed me something else, and we were talking about it. He was on my live the other day when I was listening, and he was telling me, he's like, here's another thing. Like some people, when they're tearing or cutting their bubble wrap, they actually pop some of the bubbles.
Yeah.
And he said if that bubble that popped ends up on an edge, you're probably gonna break something. And I was like, I never thought of that. That was something that just, I was like, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you have like what's supposed to be a bubble wrap, essentially all that is a piece of saran wrap right there on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't going to stop an impact.
That's true.
That's why he went to the industrial strength bubble on that stuff, because he's like, yeah. But
well, I've seen some like carnival glass and stuff like that, and I'm like, I know what that is, but I'm not ready to touch it.
Hey, I got some. Well, here's what got me into glass. This is the other side of it. So I have a thrift store that I actually teach on Thursdays at this Christian rehab here. Like I teach Bible with those guys on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And there's a guy that he's one of the directors there, and I've went and volunteered at the thrift store a few times.
Yeah.
And so this guy, occasionally they'll get some people that buy storage units that bring them all their stuff. Like all they're looking for is like 2 or 3 things out of those storage units. They're looking for certain antiques and certain like coins and guns and that kind of stuff. Like that's kind of what they're looking for. So they donate to this thrift store the rest of it.
Wow.
So when those guys show up, like most of the people that work at the thrift store are volunteers, and a lot of the people that work at the thrift stores are these guys that are going through that program. So like most of those guys don't know anything about what they're looking at. So he's like, man, can you go up there? And like when this guy, I'll call you to come up here, like, and look at this stuff before, before basically these guys throw stuff out or, whatever. So I went up there one day and worked for like maybe 5 or 6 hours, and they ended up giving me like, I think it was like 10 totes of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like probably 8 of those totes were glass. And so I actually got Tim on over the years, and I was like, hey, bro, like I need some help. Like, like, can you look at this stuff?
How do you store the glass stuff though?
I
mean, are you pre-packaging it and storing it that way?
That glass was all wrapped with paper in totes.
Yeah.
So I basically like looked at it. I can tell you, honestly, I've still got a tote of it that I don't have listed.
Yeah.
But I've got a couple racks in my shed now that are just for glass. Like I put them in a box so I can kind of just stack them up. But I've got some of them that are just open on the shelf so I can see what it is.
Gotcha.
But I ended up with some of that glass. I actually traded for things I like electronics. I have a guy that runs the auction. Well, he's always looking for glass to put in the auction. He's funny. He goes, I got some ladies that if there's some Fenton in that auction, they coming. And he said, and I'm not necessarily worried about them coming. I want to make sure they're bringing their husband. I've got some stuff that their husbands will buy if they come, if they'll get here.
And they'll go if it's got Fenton.
Yeah. So he's like, man, if you got any Fenton, he goes, I'm down for that. And like they don't. So like the auctions I go to, the guys that are out there, like they don't care about the stuff that I'm interested in to flip. Like old vintage electronics, don't get none of them excited, you know. But for me, I was like, if I roll in and see something that's like it's like a vintage electronic piece, I'm stoked on it. Like I'll show you something I just got the other day. I'm actually trying to find the cord. It's in one of these boxes, but this is Texas Instruments.
Oh, yeah, they're the ones that do the calculators.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever heard of a TI-99.
A TI-99?
Yes, a TI-99 is actually it's a computer gaming system. But it looks like a typewriter almost, and it has like discs that go in, like the old floppies.
Yeah.
So, and it has like Atari looking controllers that go with it.
What?
The piece right here was in a lot with TI-99. There was one of those that has software, has like personal accounting software, all this kind of stuff. So this is the recorder that goes with that set.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Like this item itself is like $40-$50. But the TI-99 is a couple hundred. So
nice.
That was in, honestly, when I bought all those DVDs, this was in that buy of DVDs.
Wow.
So that thing, like stuff like that, I get geeked up on. Like, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like to see old technology. Plus, I mean, like my kids are like cassette tapes. Like, what the heck's going on with that?
Yeah, right.
I said, you used to take this, like it has a mic hook up here. So I said, you take this and you would take notes. Like if you were working in business or whatever, I said, people would record like conference call. Like back then, that was kind of the conference call. You'd record somebody's stuff and then you interviewers or that kind of thing.
If you went to the jail, that's how they were recording your confession.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They weren't pulling out their phones and hitting record.
Hey, I'll show you another little throwback. I've got a few little throwbacks up here. So check this rig out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, old Motorola flip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now is that the old car phone?
This is actually the handheld.
Yeah.
So it's got the
nice.
Yeah. So that's the old Motorola flipper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now what's that going for?
This thing, I've got the charger and everything. It's probably about $50.
Nice.
But just to throw back. What's cool is when you get stuff like this, occasionally, now I've not had it happen, but I know some people who have, who've sold stuff like that to movie sets.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. So
different stuff getting picked up by movie sets and stuff like that. The rotary phone, I've heard that's a bolo.
Yeah. If you find the colored ones, the red ones are really good.
And pink, I heard, was good too, right?
Yeah, green, any of that. Like, I've got one of the old green ones. I think it's like $55.
Nice.
That one, the green
one.
one.
They're heavy, so they would have to go FedEx, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can fit this phone, though. I'll tell you another little trick. Regional A and B boxes.
Oh, that'll fit in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll fit in one of those. So, like, I've got some of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I like. Like, I like vintage electronic, like, gadgets, like weird stuff that people are like, what is that?
Right.
I don't know.
I like tools and I like the toys and different stuff like that. But I like tools too. When I worked at Sears, I did a lot of stuff with tools. So
yeah, I like toys too. Let's see. There's something else I had over here though. Say it's kind of cool. Yeah, like old cameras and stuff too. So this is a Super 8 movie from back in the day.
Super 8 movie.
Yeah.
Wow. check that out. So
Yeah.
that's a reel, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
real.
That's
cool, Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. I think he sells for like $25-$30. And
Yeah.
he was less than $1 because he was bundled with a bunch of stuff.
Man, I was on with, like I said, Marcus last night, and he was showing me some toys that he had like 70, 80, $100, like old stuff.
It's 2014 Viacom International.
Oh, yeah.
Funko.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty wild. Yeah, Marcus showed me he had a Gremlins Funko that's like $150.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I like that. I mean, like I said, I like that kind of stuff. I like the vintage, like it's funny. I guess everybody kind of likes what they grew up with, like things that you can go back and think about. Hey, I remember when I had that toy or I had that.
Right.
Whatever.
Or something you can relate to.
Yeah.
Even something you might not have had, something you can relate to.
Yeah, for sure. I think some of that stuff is neat. Like when you run up on stuff and you're not real sure what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or like it's stuff that you just remember being around the house, or like my grandparents had an 8mm projector.
Yeah.
I remember watching old home movies that they had.
Home movies on there.
So I've sold a few of those projectors, but actually at my grandparents, she still has the old projector that we used to watch. It's an old Brownie.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny because when I see stuff now, I look at it with different eyes, I guess, because now I'm like, wonder how much that's worth.
You scanning it. Hey, my parents have the app. Like my parents, my sister, like basically about anybody I know. I was like, I'm always like telling them, I was like, hey, look that up, man. What is it worth? Can you sell it?
Right?
It's funny. People always ask me, they're like, well, what do you collect? Do you collect anything? I was like, I collect a lot of stuff till it sells. So once it sells, it's gone.
I know. I ask, what do you like selling? I'm like, whatever makes me money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like a lot of people. I'm not as big on clothing. I do like hats, and I've sold some cool hats recently. Cernot got me into that.
I'm surprised I haven't sold yet.
Oh yeah. What's that? Early 90s?
It is. What was I told? I'm trying to think what the hat guy told me that the brand was.
Is it K brand? K product?
It's the P.
Okay, that's he just told me that I think it's Pacific something.
I can't remember. I know he told me when
I've got one like that. I've got one that has the P on it too, and he was telling me that same thing the other day. Cernot.
Made in
Chris. Yep. Yeah, maybe
Cernot's connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on my channel before, and we did a learning about hats. That was an interesting show.
You want to talk about somebody getting geeked up about something? Cernot gets fired up on some hats.
Yeah, he does.
He's I like him.
He knows his hats.
He's a good guy too. Like I send him pictures occasionally if I run across stuff. I'm like, man, I mean, I appreciate it. And he's honestly, when I've done these listing lives, like a lot of times if he's working, he'll pop on and talk with me like for a little while.
Yeah.
I've showed him, sent him some pictures back and forth and stuff. He's a great guy. He really is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very helpful for sure too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's told me that if I had any questions or anything, let him know.
Yep. Yeah, he's good about that.
The reseller community is very good about that a lot. That's one of the big things that I like about the reseller community is, everybody's not for themselves. They're out there helping other people. They don't have to do channels and give information and all that stuff. They do that, on their own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I mean, I know that there is some places within the reselling community that have a little drama, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've found more people that are helpful than more people that are bringing that kind of stuff to the table.
Absolutely. I
Like,
agree.
and I think a lot of it's who you hang out with. Like that's one of the things
Right?
for sure. Yeah, I'm going to the 411 with Rev and Nikki T and Colton and Courtney and all that crowd again.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Should be. We're actually gonna be staying near where Colton and them live, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Now, when are you guys going to do that?
That's the first weekend in October.
In October. Okay.
Yep. So the 411, Gadsden, Alabama.
I'm not sure about that one.
It's like northern Alabama, like near the mountains.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, those guys are. The 411 runs that yard sale is on the 411.
Gotcha.
And honestly, like Colton and them's place, their warehouse is on the 411. So,
Well, that's good.
it's kind of neat.
Well, when is their baby due?
Um,
Is she getting close?
No, she's maybe still in the first trimester, maybe.
Oh, so she hasn't been pregnant very long then.
No, I think they just did a gender reveal, so it's just got to that point.
Gotcha.
So.
I want to do this one. Brand new. Yeah, so that's going to be different.
I see you've been pretty active on Instagram for a while. Were you doing that with your jewelry and stuff prior to getting on the?
Actually, no, because I didn't start Instagram until probably, I don't know, halfway through this year, maybe. So I haven't been on Instagram really like a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Instagram sometimes will pop up on you like pretty quick. Like you get a lot of followers. I don't know how much they actually look at stuff, but I'm like, man, some days I'll get notification after notification, like so and so is following you. Like,
I do a lot of the stuff with the follow train resellers thing.
Ah, gotcha.
So that that's where you follow the person, and then everybody that follows them follows you back.
Gotcha.
So I've gotten a lot of followers that way. And then I do the hashtags and stuff like that, which I'm still not great at, but better than I was.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like Sam and all those guys are so good with all that. And I'm always asking him. I was like, "What do you think about this? Like, what do you think?" Because mainly what I've done on mine is just use it to try to help promote my YouTube, like.
Right.
But it's still not like.
Well, I know like Profit Monster does a live, and he sells his vintage shirts and stuff like that through a lot on Instagram.
Yeah.
But then it's like I don't think it stays like the YouTube one does, or maybe it does, but he deletes it, or I'm not sure. So I'm still not sure on how the live works on Instagram versus YouTube through StreamYard.
Yeah, I've done it myself before. Not through StreamYard. It's just like when you go to post, it comes out like that.
Huh. So is this new or is it not new? I mean, he's got it saying hooray. Let's see hooray. Oh, you've got tape on you now. Does that mean you're sealed? Maybe you are sealed.
So who was it you first started watching on YouTube?
Lindy Glenn.
Gotcha.
Lindy was one of my very first YouTube reseller people that I started watching. And then it was Part-Time Pickers, Matt. I've been watching him since he was doing the pallets back when he got all those pallets.
Right.
This is Chaotic Afternoon. I think that's different. Chaotic Afternoon. Let's see. Chaotic. Chaotic Afternoon. 4.
Yeah, at first I was watching the Amazon people, and then I kind of got into flipping over a little bit. Like I was watching like Raking Profits and
.com. Yeah, I see him sometimes
Bearded
too.
Picker and like those guys. And then I kind of got on the other side of it, and I got drawn into watching Cincinnati Picker.
John. Yep, I watch John sometimes.
Lonnie, like
the
it kind of folded out from there. Like now it's crazy because I mostly watch smaller channels, to be honest. Like I still catch those guys from time to time. Kevin at Commonwealth Picker, like he's another guy that I like.
Yep, I watch him too.
Yeah, but now, like I said, a lot of the guys that I hang out with, I watch their stuff more than what I like. I watch Colton and Courtney and Rev and Nikki T a lot. OSP, like Old School Picker. Tim over the years, like I watch him. Tesla, we've had him on our show. I watched him some. Like just different people. Like than what
I just found one called Prison to Profits. Have you heard of him? Yeah, he actually lives around Harry Tornado. You know that one?
Yeah, I know Harry.
Yep, he lives around Harry Tornado. He's actually done some videos where him and Harry have been at the same sourcing place.
Oh wow.
I don't know his story, but it's called Prison to Profits. It's pretty cool. Wow, this thing weighs 3 pounds. Holy moly.
Goodness.
So when you've got something that weighs a lot, and instead of putting it in a box, do you make it its own box?
How big is it?
Well, this isn't one of the ones that's going to be too bad, but this one's over 2 pounds, so it's got to go with 3 pound rate. It's already in a box. So this one I'll probably put in a poly, something. But I've got a couple of board games, and one of them is over $100 board game, and it's in a box. It's wrapped, but it weighs like 7 pounds.
Yeah.
So try to figure out how to put a box into a box. I don't know.
How big is the board game? Is it longer than a
let me look for my listing and I'll tell you. It's not real long, I don't think. It's just really heavy. What's that?
I would look at that Regional B. Because the Regional B is about that long.
It's a Monopoly game.
Might be a little longer than Regional B then.
But it's a square. It's the Monopoly Heirloom Edition with the inlaid brass medallion.
If that's square, it'll probably fit in a Region B.
Think so?
Do you have a Region B, like a long box, like flat one? There's two regional Bs. One is like a rectangle, like, but it's fatter. It sits up, it's taller.
Yeah.
The other one is like the kind of like the flat box. I don't know if I got anything inside. I'll look and I'll show you. There's somebody that popped into Zequinox.
Hello.
I don't get one. I'll come and show you. So
I put in the link for that item, Eric, so you can see it. I thought I had the dimensions on it, but I guess I don't. I don't remember if it was 24 by 24 or I don't know. I know I checked it.
Yeah, I don't know if this would fit 24 by 24. I've shipped quite a few board games in this, though, are similar. Ugh. I don't know why I was going to look. It actually has the dimensions on here.
Oh, on the box?
Yeah. So this is 14 by 15. Well, yeah, the inner dimensions is 14.375 by 15.875.
Now, is that the region A?
This is region B.
Region B. Now, B means that it's going further than just a couple of states. Is that what it is?
No, region A and B have to do with weight.
2 pounds and 4 pounds, right?
Yeah. So region A, anything you can shove in a region A box will ship out at a 2 pound rate.
And region B would be 4 pounds.
Yeah, up to like 20 pounds. The region B will ship out up to 40 pounds.
Gotcha. Now, you can't Frankenstein that box, though, can you?
No, not in it. Still, I mean, you can Frankenbox it, but it'll be a regular priority rate at that point. Like if you exceed the dimensions, it's basically like kind of a loophole to cubic shipping.
Right.
one of the other things that you can check is I don't know, Wahab Salah. Huh. One of the things you can check though too is your pirate ship bag in the box or box in the bag. I don't know if you've ever done that.
Yes, I use that a lot with pirate ship, with putting the box in a poly bag and then doing it.
Yeah,
bag and box, but it can't go over 18 by 18.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Now, the Monopoly game I just sold. I sold an I Love Lucy sealed Monopoly game on Macari, and I did my very first Franken box with priority boxes, and it actually got to the buyer safely. But it was my very first one, so I was very nervous that it wasn't going to work or it was going to get returned or something.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I had my husband take it to the post office and drop it off, so I was even more nervous that they were going to turn it down. But they did. They took it. And the guy was happy on Macari, and I got paid, so it was good. I paid $45 for 3 sealed Monopoly games. One was Betty Boop, one was Peanuts, and one was I Love Lucy. And I sold that one for over $60, just that one. And then I still have the other 2 left still to sell. So, and the Peanuts one sells for over $100.
Man. Yeah, I've put some board games in this size and puzzles, because this is like, it's just bigger, it's wider, it's taller.
Yeah, I think that's what I used. I used that and either the second one or the one that's similar to that, that's a little smaller, to do those 2.
Yeah,
I did 2 boxes and made them Frankenstein blocks.
Yeah, I think there's 1095 and 1097. Like I do the same thing. Like I'll extend these out, like, you know, close one end, leave the other end, and shove them together. Like I do that.
That's what I did. I closed off one end, and then the other end I put another box on, and then I closed that end off.
Yeah, I've actually got to make one. I just sold a tennis racket, so I've got to make one like that.
Gotcha.
But I do the tennis racket a little different, because I'll close one end, then I'll slide the tennis racket in, then I'll take this in, like, so if the middle part of the tennis racket is sticking up,
yeah,
I'll cut it right here and fold it down on both sides to where it like keeps the tennis racket from wobbling back and forth like that.
So what do you do with the handle part?
I put another box over top of it.
On top of it? Gotcha.
Yeah,
now,
but
do you use the 2 boxes?
Yeah, I still use 2, but I just keep that thing from wiggling like that.
Right.
By doing that like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I stole that from a part-time picker there, Matt.
Yes, he does a lot of Frankenboxing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've learned you've got to. That's for sure. The other thing I've learned is to get the 24 by 24 bags.
The poly bags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot with those.
Yep. Yeah. I use those a lot.
Hey, I'll show you my super large poly bags.
42 I haven't done that yet.
Oh yeah.
I've had something come from Donna Bodolilo, where I got from her auction. And it was wrapped in a black garbage bag.
Yeah, now these are the good ones. Like, they're the 3 mil.
Yeah.
So you can't tear them hardly. Like, I mean, they're contractor bags, but I do that. A lot of times I'll use those bags on items that may have the original box. Like if it's got the original box and I was like, really? I mean, it's not going to break. It's in good shape. Exactly. I don't want to put a sticker on that box, because just in the off chance that either somebody is aggro about it or they leave it on somebody's porch and now the box gets roached. So
that's what I'm thinking I'm probably going to do with that Monopoly game, is just put it in a couple of bags, because it's a very solid box that it's in, sealed.
Sometimes with boxes like that,
all over the place.
Yeah, sometimes with boxes like that, I'll actually take and make cardboard corners for them.
Yeah.
Like basically just take a piece of cardboard and fold the corner to where, like, normally your corners is what gets beat up anyway.
Yeah, that's the only part I'm concerned about, especially with it being
Yeah.
so expensive of an item because,
Well, I mean, honestly, you could Frankenbox it, slide it in a bag, like just to,
Yeah.
But yeah, if for some reason it'll fit in this, I mean, I've put like a Trivial Pursuit will fit in this.
Well, I sent you the link. Do you see how thick it is, though?
Is it thicker than 3 inches? Monopoly? Hold on. I got to copy the link because I'm not in YouTube. I'm just in
Oh, okay, gotcha.
in StreamYard.
Do you want me to put it in StreamYard? Would that be better?
No, I got it. I'm going to just go here. Yeah, man, that's nice.
It's very nice, and I got it for less than $10.
If you sell it for that much right there, I would not even sweat like paying up on the shipping on it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about paying on the shipping if it sells for that. I just need to know how the heck I'm going to ship it.
Yeah,
it's the weight. It's the weight. I mean, it's so heavy.
Yeah, I would ship it FedEx, to be honest.
Really?
Yep.
I've got it on.
I guarantee if you check
priority. 14 by 14 by 8 at £7.
14
is what I've got the shipping listed as.
Yeah. It's not going to fit in this. Well, yeah, 8 inches tall. 14 by 14.
That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, you might have to Frankenbox or I'm going to say the ones like at Lowe's and Home Depot and all that, they have an 18 by 18. But
yeah.
It's 18 by 18 by like 24 or something crazy. You might have to cut one down.
Boxes, I just have to look and see what it'll fit in.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to go probably, I don't know.
I would probably, I mean, honestly, I would probably put a couple layers of bubble on that thing just because of the price.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's what I'd probably do. I'd wrap it both ways with bubble, make sure your corners are covered up.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like you might get even, honestly, it might would even, nah, it doesn't fit in that, but yeah, 14 by 14.
And I reconstructed a poly bag the other day. That was a first.
Yeah, I've got some boxes.
I sliced it open with the poly bags on both sides to get the item to slide into it. Mm-hmm. And then I taped it all up. I'm like, I'm good at this.
Sometimes I'll take those 24 by 24s and I'll put them on both ends and like pull the sticker off one side and stick it to the other bag.
Right.
Tape around the middle and tape it around the end. Like I do that stuff all the time.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Hey, as long as it gets out. Like
yeah, safely and soundly. That's all we need.
I have learned about taping both ways, like with the boxes to keep them from pulling apart or whatever. But
yeah, I was very careful when I did that Monopoly game because that was my first Frankenbox, so it had tape all over it. I did not want those boxes sliding apart.
Yeah, I tend to use a lot of tape myself. Like I'm one of those people. Like people are like, "Man, you use a lot of tape." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, hey, I'd rather do that than a return."
Right. Exactly.
But there's a lot of stuff I will put in. I mean, I'll use a poly bag in a minute. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll bubble wrap stuff and put it in the poly bag. Yeah.
It just depends on the item.
Yeah, like some stuff, if it's small, I'll bubble wrap it and stick it in a regular poly. Like, I'll do that, even if it's heavier. I've got a part right now that I've got to ship out that is it's $199. It's literally this big.
What part is it?
Yeah, it's like something for let's see. It's for an ATV.
For an ATV?
Yeah. called an output shaft. It's this right here.
Wow. That was $199?
Yep. And I sold it cheaper. But apparently it's a kind of a hard to get one.
Huh. Nice.
So I'm like $199. Like, you know what I want to do with this thing? I want to wrap it in bubble and stick it in a
poly?
in a bubble envelope. But I'm like, it's a little heavy. Like,
and then
it
you're
might
like,
be
it's
pushing a pound.
$199. What do I do with it? Do I put it in a
Yeah. Like, is somebody gonna lose that little bag and now I'm out $100 some? Like, that's
right?
kind of what I think.
Would it fit
Sometimes
in a 6x6x4?
Oh, it'd fit in a nothing by nothing by nothing. But
A
see, it's like
4x4?
Yeah. Like, I've got a 6x6x6, and it won't even touch the walls in one of those things.
That would probably be the way I'd do it. I'd stick a bunch of bubble on it and stick it in that box and ship it out.
I mean,
oh yeah, see, look at that.
It's not even
Frankenstein that and make it shorter.
It's not even touching anything.
Yeah, you could slice that down and Frankenstein it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
I have a Lonnie tool, but I'm not very good at it.
I don't like that thing.
What do you use to Frankenstein your box with? Just a regular knife? An X-Acto knife?
Yeah.
But when you're what is it called? Spotting it or whatever? Scoring it?
Yeah, so what I do with that is I just take and so like if I was putting an item in there,
yeah,
and I needed to go down, I usually have like scrap cardboard around.
Yeah.
So I'll put a piece of scrap cardboard in there on top of the item, and then I'll fold one side down like to where it's right. And then once you get one down, then you can do all the rest of them.
But you go through and score it with your knife and try not to cut all the way through it?
Nah. I just fold it.
You just fold it.
Yeah.
I've done that, but my folds don't look very good.
Well, like I said, you got to get – so what I do is I'll take a little piece of cardboard. Like if I was going to Frankenbox this box, like I'd probably cut this piece off right here.
Yeah.
And then I'd take that little piece and I'd put it down there. Like say if my item is in there with bubble, like I don't even know. I don't want to ship this yet, but I've got a piece. So like I've got this part, which fits perfectly in there, right?
Right.
So I would take and stick it in like that.
Okay.
And then I would just take that cardboard and I'd put against my one wall and go ahead and cut the edge. And then I'd just fold it against, like I'd make sure the item's tight against the wall in there.
Yeah.
And I just fold it on that crease right there on that item. And then once you got one flap in, then you can use that to crease the next one. That's how I do it.
Okay.
So then I just go all the way around the box, crease them all down. Because that scoring thing, I've tried it, and I just can't get it to do right.
I'm not very good with it.
I mean, I see those guys, but I've also seen some of those guys shoot videos where they're struggling, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that they're struggling with it, but yeah, they're trying to make it look like they. I was like,
yeah, exactly.
There ain't no easier way around Frankenbox. And at this point, if it's a Frankenbox, like it's not like nobody's not going to know that you cut the thing down like when they look at it. So I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. Mine just looks like a folded box of some sort, and they're not very leveled sometimes.
Well, sometimes I just stick them in a bag if they look too rough. Like if the box is bad, I just put it in a bag. There you go. See, that's going to push it over a pound right there. Mm.
Even if you Frankenstein the box and make it smaller?
But you know what? I'm probably going to go.
Because that should take off some of the weight.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go ahead and do priority anyway. Just so I have $100 insurance.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea.
Because on a $200 item, like I'm not going to insure it because it's a $200 item. But if I had $100 worth of insurance,
you could insure it though. It would cost you like nothing.
Well, it's probably an extra $4 or $5, something like that.
I don't even know if it costs that much. Seems to be really cheap.
I insured that $2,500 one, and it was like $45, I think.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to $2,500.
Yeah.
That's like $1 compared to $100.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I'll probably do that, and then if it's got $100, like I said, I've got pennies in this stuff. Like it's
right.
Even if he lost it and I got $100 out of it, I'd still be up $99 at least.
Like, just in the shipping. That's true.
Because they what they will do is they will insure you for the item $100, but they'll also reimburse you for the shipping.
Ah. So you would get the item cost and the shipping back. So
so
it would be over $99.
Yeah, I mean that'd probably be $100 and change, but
easily, yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. I got to shoot a video with this item in it before I do all that.
Yeah, you don't want to ship it until you do that.
Yeah.
Or package it.
I've gotten bad about not doing what sold because I don't know why. Like I was into it for a while, like doing what sold. But I guess with COVID and that being about the only video you could put out for a while is what sold because there weren't much sourcing opportunities.
You got burned out on
it? Yeah. So one of them things. Well, hey, I think I'm going to jump off. I got to get some stuff done before tonight.
All right. Yeah, I need to eat my sandwich too. My husband got me before he left for the island for the weekend. So.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I think we're fixing to get on some dinner ourselves.
Well, it was fun, and I appreciate the information, Eric. If you ever want to come back on when I'm doing this on Fridays, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like what I do too is when I'll open things up. Like I try to like I've done where I've scheduled somebody or talked to somebody about me going on. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can just start dropping links and people come in and hang out with you for a little while.
Yeah.
Just to keep it, like if you want to go longer, because I know what happens with most of us, like, we're on, then we go out. Like Cernot came on the other day and kind of like I went and ate lunch and he actually gave a class on how to change out a snapback. And I put him full screen and I went and had a sandwich and came back. Like I've watched him do that before, but I was like, he had some people that were curious about it. So he did one live. Like he actually took it apart, did it. And I was like, dude, I appreciate it. And then later on, he jumped off and took a nap. So I was like, man, I appreciate you giving me a break.
Yeah, that's good.
Doing that. So it's fun. But
right.
Yeah, it was nice hanging out with you. And
yeah, you too.
Look forward to seeing you. If you're not doing anything later, I'll be on at 8 o'clock with DC Picker.
Okay.
So that's our live show we do every Friday night. And
it'll be on your channel?
Yep.
Okay.
8 o'clock Eastern.
8 o'clock Eastern. Okay. Yeah, that'll give me some time to do. I gotta eat and do a couple things. I got a video game I want to go play, so
there you go.
I do that before your live starts.
What kind of game you play?
I just got a Nintendo Switch, so today I just bought a Mario game, and I'm gonna be playing that. The new Mario U or Mario something, I don't know. It's Mario, is all I know.
Yeah, we still play a little Mario Kart occasionally around here.
Yeah.
My girls got me into playing Fortnite for a minute, but I'm terrible at that game.
Is that a shooting game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like cartoons.
Yeah.
So, but I'm terrible at it. I look foolish on there. Like I was like, I don't know what happened to me when I was younger. I used to have pretty good reflexes, but now I'm just like terrible.
Right. Yeah, I like the Marios and the Zeldas and all that stuff. And I got the Nintendo Switch. I've got Zelda, which is the Breath of Fire or Breath of Wind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
And then today I got the Mario game And I was watching the guy play the first level last night, and I was laughing and everything else. I'm like, I've got to get this game. This is a good down where I'm not going to be working. I'm just going to be hanging out and playing. I have a hard time stopping working when I'm doing resale. I'm always working.
Yeah.
And I have to stop and take time away, and I have a hard time with that because I'm like, I could get listing done, I could get a picture done, I could do this.
Yeah, it's good to have some downtime. I mean, that's why I'm trying to get everything moved out to our shed. Like that's the ultimate goal, so where I could kind of separate work and home again. Like where it's not just, hey man, it's right here in my face all the time. Like it's crazy. I watched, John. Obviously, we talked about Cincinnati Picker.
Mm-hmm.
So how he talks about it, he's working like 9 to 5. Like he just basically like I'm going in, I'm doing this, working my 9 to 5, getting it done, and then I go home and I don't fool with it, unless he's on a live or something. But he's not like because I was like I kind of want to get to that point to a degree. I mean, obviously, like the positive side of working for yourself is you can kind of work when you want to work, like when you're geared up to work. But I find if I don't have some kind of structure, I'm not as effective,
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
It starts to bleed into each other,
Exactly. And then you find that you're working all the time.
Yeah.
every minute of the day.
Then you get burned out and you'll be taking some time off. Like that, you don't need to be taking time off.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Are you doing it full time or are you doing it part time?
I am now pretty much full time. I used to do a lot of other stuff, and I still have some other business ventures that I still make a little bit of money off of. But yeah, pretty much now I'm doing it like since Corona hit. Like I was doing, I have a bunch of houses that I used to do maintenance and stuff for.
Right.
Like we're out here in vacation land. So I had some of that stuff I was doing, and in the summer I typically would drive Uber here because it's big money here in the summertime. So this year I hadn't done any of that. Like really, I mean, I've done once Corona hit. Like I really didn't do. I didn't drive Uber because we had it shut down for a while, and then I had some homes that I just like the stuff that they needed to get done. I was like, man, it's not really worth it for me to get out there and do what I need to do. So along about that same time, I started getting some big buys.
Yeah.
So now I can pretty much do this and not have to stress about the rest of that. I still have some things available. Like if I want to go do some stuff, I can. But if not, like I'm gonna try to ride the wave as long as I can. And I'm anxious for a Q4, to be honest. Like I think I know there's varying opinions on that. Like last year, I weren't seasoned enough last year to know what was going on.
Exactly.
Like I was kind of like just getting into it. So like I weren't prepared for it because I'm like, I don't know. I'm just listing stuff and it's selling. But now I'm trying to like crank up my listing. Like that's why I'm pushing for the 2K. Like I want to get the 2K listings before Q4. So if I can get pushed through all this bulk stuff that I recently got, like now I've really changed my sourcing to where I want to look for items that can be gifted, more along that line so that I can, hopefully have a great Q4. Because I know a lot of these guys say they make as much in those 3 months as they make the rest of the year. So,
well, I know that's how retail works. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean,
we
are in the retail business.
Kind of out. So,
yeah. We are in the retail business. We're just in a little different. So, I mean, that's what I'm really trying to gear up for is get to a place to where this year, like if I can springboard off of Q4 and, get like I've got some financial goals myself that I want to get to where it'll basically like ease some tensions. Like I just bought a shed to do eBay with.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife, I said, if I could pay that shed off, like I'd be ahead of the curve going into next year. Like that's kind of.
I have a shed too that I have out back that I have to pay for. So yeah, I know how that goes. I would like to get to $3,000 to $4,000 a month so I could stop working a regular job and do this.
Yeah.
Right now, I just maybe a month and a week ago, I made it to where Fridays I do reselling, and I work my regular job Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a big push, but I really want to get it to the point to where if I don't want to work my other job, I could just do this and know I could still have enough to pay bills and put money into the business.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. I mean, everybody has their own threshold of what they need to get there. And so like I was telling you earlier about the numbers and stuff, for me, I started crunching those numbers saying, okay, well, I need to get to this so that I can be where I need to be, and that's kind of where I know is like, if I can get to this, then if Q4 hits, like I honestly expect my sell-through rate to jump like pretty substantial in Q4, like to be selling a lot quicker. Now, I don't know about lawnmower parts, if that's going to be something that's going to be readily like, hey, I need this, but I know
we can sell a mower here in Florida in November. Trust me, I've done it when I worked at Sears.
So, but here's the other thing. I've got some items that I've put back.
Right.
That, like I've got about 12 starter jackets, like that are like vintage 90 new old stock, new with tags. Like I got in that bulk buy of sporting goods. Like after I paid for all that. So I've been setting on those, A, for cooler weather, B, I was like, if I can list those things about mid-October, like I can probably get $50 to $60 more per coat than what I would have got in the summer.
Right.
Like, and, going into Q4, these are highly collectible. Like Tim was talking about it the other day because he's watched my video of when I got that sporting goods buy. I opened the box those things were in. The box was sealed.
Oh, wow.
And so I started pulling them out, and they're all like Georgetown, Charlotte Hornets, like all these Notre Dame, like all the ones that people would collect, like from back in the day. So I'm like, I said, man, those things, I mean, they're probably $180, $200 a piece.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, yeah, I'm actually, so that's some items that I know I've got them in the works. I haven't listed them yet. I haven't made them live, but I'm like, I've got them on the radar to where I'm like, okay, this needs to happen this period of time. Like I know I can sell this before Christmas. Like there's, $1,800, $2,000 right there, like just in those states. So like, that's kind of things like that I'm trying to stockpile a little bit of, or like, it's funny. I was talking to one of the guys in here the other day when I was doing my live, and they were talking about how they had bought a bunch of toys for Q4 and they started listing them. He said, man, those things, I've sold most of them. I've sold like over half of them.
Right.
Because kids are at home. Like,
exactly.
I mean, parents are
trying to. That stuff sells really well.
So, I mean, for me, like now what I'm doing from now till probably through October is I'm trying to find those kind of items that I can, like this stuff that I've got is great, like long tail, like, slow and steady kind of stuff. As far as these last two bulk buys, this and the ATV. The ATV parts are good because hunting season's coming. Like, so that's something that I know that I'll sell them. Like that part I just sold.
Hunting season already started, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, like certain. I think teal season's in, duck hunting.
Okay.
But like for us, like deer season don't start till
around
November.
my anniversary, and my anniversary was on the 14th, so that's why I was thinking it had already started.
Yeah. Yeah, for us, I think regular like deer, like first it'll be like bow hunting and black powder, and then, but like I said, once that gets going, then people, ATVs and yeah. So I've got some items like that I'm like, I know that will be something good, but trying to get ahead, trying to keep my ear to the ground about other things. I've been looking today at PS5s, like if there's any way to scoop any of those things, but I can't find them.
Right?
They've got listings right now.
PS4s so they can get the PS5s.
They've got listings right now, PS5s for $1,200 and $1,300 that are pre-sales. Like they're $499. Is what they tell me. So I saw Justin RVA Flips. He just hit an Instagram saying that he had got one.
He got a PS5?
He's got it. On the pre-order. He's got one sealed, locked up.
Wow. Now is he selling that though?
I'm sure he's probably collecting it. Like he's a gamer too.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen his stuff. Like he has a wall of Switch games.
Really?
Yeah, he collects Switch games.
Oh wow.
So
That's cool.
but yeah, he's definitely a gamer. I don't know. Like I was thinking about that. I said, man, if you could get 3 or 4 PS5s, even paying $4.99, when those things drop, like right now, you can't get them. Like
Right.
there's no place to even pre-order them. When those things drop, like going into Christmas, I guarantee they'll probably jump to like $1,500.
Wow. That's crazy.
So,
Yeah. I just got a PS4 not long ago. So it'll be a while before I get a PS5.
Yeah, I've got an Xbox One. I did PlayStation for a long time. Then my kids bought me an Xbox One, and I'd never played Xbox really because the old Xboxes are terrible. Like I used to sell a lot of video game stuff. Mm-hmm. The Xbox 360s are like doorstops. Like them things, about half the ones you find don't work. Like
yeah. See, I have a couple of the 360s. I've got one that I actually play, and then I've got another one that I need to sell that I haven't done yet. But I've got a lot of sports games that came with it that I don't care anything about them.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have NCAA 14, do you?
No, everybody asks me that though.
Yeah. Or there's a basketball game with Blake Griffin on it on the cover, and that one's a good one too. I think that may be 15 NCAA basketball. Like that one's.
I think I might have heard of that one too.
That one's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of
the bulk deal with these. I got an Xbox One, an Xbox 360, and then it came with like a whole bunch of games, and most of the games were all sports.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's crazy because that's all I used to play with sports games for the most part.
Yeah.
Like I mean, when I had my original Nintendo, like I had Mario and all that kind of stuff, Zelda. Like I played all that. But then when I started getting older, like all I played was like Madden and basketball. Like that's all only games. And those are all the ones that ain't worth nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy how much sporting games are out there. And like you said, most of them are not worth anything.
That's because they release a new one every year. Like it's not like some of the other franchise games where they're only once in a while they'll release a new one. Like there's things every year they're cranking out a new Madden. Every year they're cranking out, and like the people that used to be on the game is not like NFL rosters change every day. So like it's different. Now, yeah, they're looking for the latest guy. The latest one that's on that game that's playing on that team. So
right, that's true.
Sports games are lot fodder, is what I call them. You got to lot them up. That's the only way you're going to sell them.
Lot them up. Yeah, exactly.
But,
all right. Well, I'll let you go so you can go take care of stuff, and I will look for your live at 8.
Yeah, I'll be on at 8 for sure.
PM. OBX.
Yeah, I don't know if you have my bell on, like the all notification, but it should send something.
I think I do. Let me go.
That thing's been acting screwy lately. I've had a lot of people that say, man, I know I'm subscribed and have the bell on, and it's not picking up. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Right. Let's see. There's OBX. Yeah, I have the bell on for all, so it should tell me.
Yeah, you should get something, but like 8 Eastern is when we pop on, myself and Sam. And then, like I said, we have DC Picker.
Now, is there a way to do a reminder on that or no?
I don't know other than the bell. Like I don't know what happens.
Okay.
Other than that. It's crazy. I lost 3 subs today. Like, what's going on? I swear the closer I get to 1,000, I think that they mess with me or something. I was like, let's just tease you a minute. We'll drop back.
Yeah, because you got to get to 1,000 to be able to do monetize, right?
Yeah.
And then so many hours.
4,000 watch hours. I'm about 1,100 away right now.
Gotcha.
So I've actually got some people that are watching me on loop right now.
Mm-hmm. I do that sometimes too. I put people on loop.
Yeah, Shasha's been watching me for like a week and a half.
Nice.
She's sending me a message. Well, I appreciate you letting me come and hang out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whenever you want to, like I said, if I'm on when I'm on Friday, if you want to hang out, let me know.
Yeah.
If you want to get some
Okay.
listings done, we can chat and all that
All
good
right.
stuff.
Sounds good.
I
All right.
appreciate the information.
No problem.
All right,
Have a good one.
take care. Bye.